Bitcoin, now I can go buy anything, literally anything, here in the US at least, with my Bitcoin. So it is a medium of exchange. Is it widely accepted? No, but it is getting there. It's on that path. Uh, and then coming to store of value. Now, is Bitcoin a good store of value? In my opinion, Bitcoin is the best store of value.
हाय गाइस, वेलकम टू मनी शॉट। ये एक शो है जहां पे हम एक्सप्लेन करेंगे क्रिप्टो करेंसीज, बिटकॉइन एंड अदर डिजिटल मनी क्या होता है, क्यों ये इंपॉर्टेंट है हमें इसके बारे में पढ़ना। सिंपल सा फॉर्मेट है। हम 3-4 दोस्त हैं। हम में से कुछ लोगों ने काफ़ी पढ़ रखा है इसके बारे में, कुछ लोगों ने कम पढ़ रखा है, बट हम सब सीख रहे हैं इसके बारे में बिकॉज इट्स सच अ बिग सिलेबस टू गेट थ्रू एवरीथिंग। सो एवरी वीक द फॉर्मेट विल बी, हम क्वेश्चंस पूछेंगे विशेष को, जिसे हमसे काफ़ी ज़्यादा पता है इसके बारे में, एंड काउंटर क्वेश्चंस करेंगे, डिस्कशंस करेंगे, एंड थ्रू दैट विल ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड क्रिप्टो करेंसी क्या है, बिटकॉइन क्या है, क्यों ये इंपॉर्टेंट है, इसमें इन्वेस्ट करना चाहिए, नहीं करना चाहिए, कितना इन्वेस्ट करना चाहिए, कब इन्वेस्ट करना चाहिए, कैसे इन्वेस्ट करना चाहिए, ऑल ऑफ दैट। आज का एपिसोड बहुत सिंपल रहेगा। इट्स अ फर्स्ट एपिसोड, तो हम सिर्फ ये एक्सप्लेन करेंगे कि हम ये क्यों कर रहे हैं, जस्ट एक कॉन्टेक्स्ट सेट करेंगे हमारे आने वाले एपिसोड्स के लिए। आज का एपिसोड हो सकता है आपको थोड़ा ज़्यादा टेक्निकल लगे, बट डोंट वरी, बाकी के जो एपिसोड्स आएंगे इन फ्यूचर उसमें हम एक एक टॉपिक्स को लेकर डिटेल में एक्सप्लेन करेंगे। सो लेट्स स्टार्ट विद इंट्रोडक्शन। आई एम डेविस।
आई एम परीक्षित।
एंड आई एम विशेष।
ऑलराइट, सो जैसा मैंने पहले बोला, विशेष काफी महीनों से इसके बारे में पढ़ रहा है, क्रिप्टो एंड बिटकॉइन एंड डिजिटल मनी के बारे में, एंड उसको काफी नॉलेज है इसके बारे में। सो लेट्स स्टार्ट बाय आस्किंग हिम कि हाउ डिड ही गेट इनटू दिस, व्हाई डिड ही स्टार्ट रीडिंग अबाउट क्रिप्टो करेंसीज, व्हाट गॉट हिम एक्साइटेड।
Yeah, sure. So basically, it all started with the pandemic, right? For all of us, there was so much time on our hands, and I didn't know what to do with my time. I wanted to do something productive with it, and so I started listening to podcasts, and really enjoyed podcasts. I was listening to podcasts about varied subjects, and amongst others, investments was one of the topics that I was also following on podcasts. At the same time, I have a friend in Canada who's also constantly sort of pigging me, nudging me to look at Bitcoin. Every other day, he would send me a message and say, "This is something interesting. You should look into it." And I was ignoring it, to be honest. Until one of the days, my podcast sun raha tha, aur usme, they talked about Bitcoin, and that piqued my interest. Then I started looking into it, and one of the things that I always thought, right? हम सब ने बिटकॉइन के बारे में सुना है पिछले कुछ सालों से, but we really don't know much more about it because we haven't bothered to sort of investigate further. And one thing that I was just thinking as I was learning about Bitcoin was that why is Bitcoin still around? Didn't it crash and burn? Was it not a bubble that is over now? And the fact that Bitcoin was still around and that it is still up after 12 years made me, think twice. No scam, no Ponzi scheme comes back after it's already been burst. And so that made me realize that there must be something in Bitcoin that I need to look into. And that's really it. I mean, that's the beginning, and that's the reason why I started a few months back. And yeah.
Okay, so before we get into detail of what Bitcoin is and everything in our other episodes, in this episode, if you can quickly explain just a quick summary of what exactly Bitcoin is, what are the basic differences, and a little bit more about it, what you found interesting about it specifically.
Yeah, sure. So Bitcoin is basically, as everybody knows, it's called a cryptocurrency. It was started in 2008, following the great financial crash of 2008, and it was started by a person named Satoshi Nakamoto, who wrote a white paper. He explained the concept. He coded the whole Bitcoin protocol on a technology called blockchain technology, and he basically released it as an open source software in the world. And the basic, use case is, or let me take a step back. Cryptocurrency generally is very misunderstood because of the name currency associated with it. Most people think that, hey, I don't see Bitcoin ever becoming a currency. For me, currency in India is rupee, currency in the US is dollars, and everywhere else we have different kinds of currencies issued by their central banks and governments. And that is a concept that people find hard to understand because in its name is cryptocurrency. So I think first thing to understand Bitcoin is to break that barrier and say, okay, let me for a moment forget that it is currency. Let's really look at Bitcoin from the basic, right? All currency that we have is money at the end of the day. Whether it's dollar or rupees, it's all money. And if we look at money, Bitcoin is also money. Now, to further understand money, one way to look at it is we have three primary characteristics of money. Money is a unit of account, meaning I can price things in units of that money. So here in the US, I will buy things in US dollar denominated terms. If I'm buying something in the grocery, it's, let's say I'm buying a pack of juice, it's $1. And if you're buying some eggs in India, it's maybe 50 rupees, right? So that's a unit of account. That's how you measure the price. The other is it's a store of value. Store of value is the characteristic of money, which means that money can hold value over long periods of time. For example, let's go back to times of barter, right? When we were, before money was discovered in the world, people used to trade in barter system. So I would give you an item in exchange, what I produced in exchange for something that I needed and that you produced. So example here being, I farm bananas and you catch fish. You're a fisherman. So I wanted to get some fish. I would give you my bananas and take some fish from you. And that's the barter. We didn't need money. But it was not great as a store of value if I used my banana as money and you used your fish as money because you could not use it over time. You could not store the value in that item over a period of time. If I wanted to not buy fish immediately, I have enough fish, I have enough food, but I want some fish next week. If I hold on to my bananas till next week, they will rot and then they will not be useful to you. And hence, it is not a good store of value. So, that is one of the ways to understand that money has to hold value. The third characteristic of money is that it is a medium of exchange. Medium of exchange is basically something that is universally accepted for me to trade and transact in goods and services. So again, the barter example, if we only traded in bananas and fish, it would be very difficult for me to go buy something let's say there is back in that example, I want to go buy apples now. So I go to the apple vendor and I say, hey, I have banana, but he says, I don't want banana, I want oranges. Now suddenly it's not a great medium of exchange. My banana is only limited to those people who want banana. And so it's not a great medium of exchange. And that's why a universal form of a medium of exchange is basically a great characteristic of money. So these three characteristics, unit of account, store of value, and medium of exchange. And so now trying to understand Bitcoin in the context of this, definition of money, we'll look at regular currency, fiat currency as we call it, which is US dollars, Indian rupees, British pound. These are all fiat currencies. We will also look at gold. It is a form of money, again on these three parameters. And then we will look at Bitcoin, right? So let's start with fiat currencies, rupees, right? rupees or dollars. So, what is fiat currency? In is it a good unit of account? Yes. I mean, you go buy bread or eggs. It is a great unit of account. The shopkeeper tells you, yes, this bread is for 10 rupees and the egg is for 5 rupees. Great. Works well. Is it a good medium of exchange? Meaning, wherever you go, किसी भी शॉप में जाओ, किसी भी सर्विस, if you want to buy a service or get a service, you will be able to exchange your rupees for getting that service. So it is a great medium of exchange. Nowhere in India can somebody tell you that, hey, I don't accept this rupee, right? Everybody accepts rupee. So it's a great medium of exchange. Now coming to store of value. How does rupee perform in store of value? And I'm talking about rupee here, but this is all these are true for all fiat currencies, whether it's dollar or pound or rupee, doesn't really matter. So as a store of value, it does pretty decent. If I, we all have jobs, so I get my salary and I, let's say, make 100 rupees this week, and I'm holding on to my 100 rupees. Now I feel like, okay, with these 100 rupees, I will buy, I will buy a movie ticket 2 weeks from now. Great. The movie ticket, I know the price is going to be, 50 rupees for that movie ticket, and I can do that. I can, this 100 rupee note will hold its value over this 2 week period, so that I can, after 2 weeks, go buy that, movie ticket for 50 rupees. Going back to this example of banana, the banana would not have held its value for 2 weeks because it would have gone rotten. So it is great over a shorter period of time. But now if we look at a long period of time, fiat currency begins to show some cracks and starts to fail as a store of value. Over a long period of time, the rupee does not hold its value. And, everybody's heard about inflation. We know that things that we could buy for 100 rupees 10 years back are now worth maybe 500, 600, 1,000 rupees. We have to spend a lot more. That basically means that that 100 rupee note is not as valuable after 10 years. And it is not a good store of value over a period of time. So as a money, it is not performing great on the store of value front. The next is gold. Now let's look at gold on the same three parameters. Gold is as a unit of account. It used to be, before fiat currencies were discovered, when people started using paper money, printed money, there was a time when all global trade used to happen in gold form, right? We've all heard of stories. Okay, kings and emperors pay their, staff in gold coins or any gold form. And so trade would happen in the form of gold, and hence prices were denominated in gold terms. So things were priced in form of gold. But when fiat currencies came, it became simpler to just price things in printed form. So gold is no longer a unit of account as a medium of exchange. Now, again, back in the day, before fiat currencies existed, gold was a good medium of exchange. People would trade and they would do exchange or transactions using gold. But it is not that great, really. And that is the reason why fiat currencies came into being. Gold is not that great as a medium of exchange because it is a physical object and it is a heavy metal. If you wanted to make a large purchase across a long distance, then you cannot carry, you can carry, but it becomes very difficult to carry all that gold. Let's say you want to go buy a house in another city. Now you're carrying like bags of gold to transport to that city so that you can perform this transaction. So as a medium of exchange, it is not really that good. The third use case for gold, store of value. Now that is really where gold has held its ground, right? Gold is a great store of value because store of value is something that is attributed to a form of money that is scarce. Scarcity is the whole point or the whole reason why gold has is considered valuable. I mean, scarcity and the fact that gold cannot just rot, right? Let's say bananas were scarce. I keep going back to the banana example because it's easy to understand. So let's say bananas were scarce.
I
Does
think I
that
think
make
you're
it?
hungry.
I actually haven't had dinner. So yeah, so let's say bananas were scarce. Would they become a great store of value? Not really, because they will not hold their form over a long period of time and they will rot. A store of value asset has to be I don't know what's the word for it. It's strong. It's not something that can disintegrate over time, and it is scarce.
Sorry, and also the store of value. I think gold is also a good store of value because it is very easy to test gold. You can always you give it to anyone with the smallest of shops. He can check and tell you if the gold is real or not. That's also I think one of the values. And of course, it's a metal, so it doesn't corrode, it doesn't catch rust or anything. So it's one of the
It
of all
doesn't
the
corrode.
metals that are of the elements that are available. So this is one of the most
They
good
call
stable.
it this most stable metal, right? It doesn't corrode. Corrode was the word that I was looking for. So you're right. And so this store of value, right? Why do we need a store of value, right? This whole store of value thing, because why is today gold there when we have fiat currencies? Because fiat currencies are not good as a store of value. So gold plays that role in the whole financial ecosystem for store of value. Uh, and like I said, scarcity is the most important point for anything to be a good store of value. Fiat currencies are not scarce. Why are they not scarce? Because they can be printed. Governments keep printing that money. There is no limited supply of fiat currencies. So they are not scarce and hence they are not a good store of value. Now let's come to Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin as on the same three parameters, Bitcoin as a unit of account. Is it a good unit of account? Uh, right now, no, right? It is only 12 years old. Gold is thousands of years old. Fiat currencies are hundreds of years old. So it is very early days. When does something become a unit of account? It takes time for money to evolve to a point to become a unit of account. Unit of account is the last stage of evolution of money. When it becomes just everything is denominated in the terms of that money. And Bitcoin is very far from achieving the last stage of being money. Uh, but does that mean that it's not good? No, it has other use cases. So let's go to the next one. Is it a good medium of exchange? It is evolving as a good medium of exchange. What does that mean? Now there are services, products, companies, brands that have started to transact in Bitcoin. Now I can go buy anything, literally anything, here in the US at least, with my Bitcoin. So it is a medium of exchange. Is it widely accepted? No, but it is getting there. It's on that path. Uh, and then coming to store of value. Now, is Bitcoin a good store of value? In my opinion, Bitcoin is the best store of value. And I'll explain why, right? Bitcoin, the whole concept of this blockchain based cryptocurrency that Satoshi Nakamoto developed was supposed to be a limited supply currency, meaning it cannot be printed. Remember, we talked about if anything is a good store of value if it cannot be printed endlessly. And Bitcoin cannot be printed endlessly. It has a limited supply. There will ever only be 21 million Bitcoin in the world. That's it. And so that is a limited supply, which makes it a great store of value. But then the question comes, oh, well, we already have gold as a store of value. Why do we need Bitcoin? Now, that is a separate conversation. Uh, I mean, we can get into it in another session, in another episode where I can talk about where Bitcoin is better than even gold as a store of value.
तो गाइस आज के एपिसोड में इतना ही बेसिकली हमें बस हमारे फ्यूचर एपिसोड्स के लिए कॉन्टेक्स्ट सेट करना था. वी जस्ट वांट टू टेल यू ये शो किस फॉर्मेट में होने वाला है. इवन दो हम ये हिंदी और इंग्लिश में करने वाले हैं. आज काफी इंग्लिश हो गया होगा बिकॉज बिटकॉइन की कुछ चीजें ऐसी है जो हम हिंदी में एक्सप्लेन नहीं कर सकते. सो इट विल बी ए इंग्लिश शो ऑलवेज एक बैलेंस मेंटेन करने की कोशिश करेंगे हिंदी और इंग्लिश के बीच में। जितना हो सके हिंदी में होगा, पर जो बिटकॉइन वाले चीजें हैं, टेक्निकल चीजें हैं, वो तो इंग्लिश में ही रखना पड़ेगा हमें। एंड बिफोर वी से बाय, आई जस्ट वांट टू टेल यू जस्ट अ डिस्क्लेमर दैट we are not asking you to invest money in Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrencies. We are sharing information with you. The whole process, आप भी सीखेंगे, हम भी सीखेंगे. We are not telling you to invest anything. If you want to invest, please do invest, but do your own research and then invest in it. This is just a simple disclaimer. पैसे डूब गए, हमारे पास मत आना. Okay. So guys, if you are watching this on YouTube, we want to tell you that we are also available on podcasts. If you don't want to see our faces, अगर आपको सिर्फ हमारी आवाज सुननी है तो पॉडकास्ट प्लेटफॉर्म्स पे भी हैं, काफी सारे पॉडकास्ट प्लेटफॉर्म्स में हैं. उसका लिंक आपको नीचे डिस्क्रिप्शन में मिल जाएगा, आप क्लिक कीजिए और जो भी आपके पास ऐप है उसमें आप सुन सकते हैं. If you want to follow us on our individual social media channels, you can also do that. We don't have a social media channel yet for Money Shot. Maybe we will have one in the future. But right now you can follow us on our individual social media channels. वो भी हम नीचे डिस्क्रिप्शन में लिंक कर देंगे.